and good afternoon. Happy Sunday to you, dear listener out there. This is the Fatherhood Programme on the Family of FM 97.7, and we are excited to be here again with another topic, another exciting edition. We of course with three amazing gentlemen. My name is Chima. I'll be standing in for the Ven John C Adubasim. So we are discussing an important topic today, and it's technology and the youth of the 21st century. Technology and the youth of the 21st century. What does this mean? You'll find out. To do justice to this topic today, we have Mr. Tammy Braid. Mr. Tammy, could you say hello?
Hello.
Can you say hello again, Mr. Tammy?
Hello.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
That's better. We also have Mr. Stewart Ezekiel. Can you say hello, Mr. Stewart?
Hello, Chima, and hello to our listeners out there.
Superb. We have a third gentleman who I'm seeing for the first time today, of course, as well as Mr. Ezekiel. Mr. Paul, right?
Yeah.
Okay, say hello to our listener, Mr. Paul.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Mr. Chima.
Okay, so we four gentlemen. Hopefully, would give it to you superbly well today. Now, let's start with Mr. Ezekiel. Technology and the youth of the 21st century. Very long, lengthy, mouth-filling topic. Who is the youth? Let's start with that one first, because someone might think, okay, this is not for me. I'm not a youth. Let me just switch off. So who is the youth? Who is the youth?
Okay, so of course, several organizations and institutions have tried to give varying definitions or descriptions as to who a youth actually is. For example, UN actually said it's someone between 15 to 24.
Okay.
And before they even said that, they had to say that's without prejudice to other member states.
Right.
So that means several countries and all that. But there's something common to all these definitions. I think it's actually someone who's moving from childhood to complete adulthood, right? So to a very large extent, we should be looking at someone between 15 to 30, 35, or even 40. Like Nigeria looks at the youth someone between 15 to 35 or thereabout. Yeah.
Interesting. So I'm still quite within the bracket then. All right. Tammy, do you want to add something to that? Who the youth is?
I'll go with Mr. Stewart's.
Yeah. Okay.
Of youth.
Paul, do you agree with both of them?
Sure, we do.
Yeah. Okay. So now we know who the youth is, give or take 15 to about 35, 40 years old. So why do we have this conversation about technology and the youth? Why is it important, Tammy, for technology to be to be coined in the same sentence with the youth?
First of all, technology has to do with applying knowledge to everyday life, enhancing how we live our lives daily. So when it comes to why or what makes technology resonate with the young mind, I think the young people are, like they say, the popular saying goes, the future generation. So if there's anything they should be more interested in, is in looking for ways to improve themselves.
Okay.
And technology is synonymous with improvement. It's synonymous with development.
Okay.
So anywhere you find development, I think that's an avenue for a youth to place his or herself in that position. So that's why any youth should associate themselves with technology.
Okay. Interesting. So technology brings about improvement, and of course, as young people, we always want to find avenues to improve ourselves, which is good. So then, in that regard, then, do we have any are there some positive outcomes? So, of course, we know this is what we want to do. Has there been any positive outcome from history that says it is actually important for young people, for youth to use technology? Of course, in this case, let's try and break it down. What are we talking about in terms of technology? Is it the internet? Is it social media? Is it how to use a phone? Is it how to just type a computer? what's really the scope?
Okay, so
Yes, go ahead.
okay, so digital technology, just like Tammy pointed out, will actually have to do with being able to, use certain electronic tools, systems, services to be able to generate, store, and process data or information. And in this case, you may be looking at things like social media, the internet, the mobile devices, and all that. So I think generally that's what digital technology is. And it still boils down to the fact that for whatever it is, even if we decide to keep technology aside, let's take for example a man with a den gun in his house can actually go out without den gun to hunt for animals to feed his family. Now another person with a similar den gun can also use that den gun to kill his neighbor out of envy. So the problem might not actually be the technology itself. It will actually be about those using it and for what intent or intention that they are using such technology. So we're here today, and Love FM is on social media platforms. That's the positive use of technology. What's his name? Mark Zuckerberg, for example, founded Facebook when he was very much a youth. Right. So I think there's been a whole lot of positive impacts that technology have made.
Interesting. So you spoke about how it's not so much about the technology but how you use it, and I'm guessing of course there are several tools that young people have access to in terms of how to solve a problem. Let's just take it that way. So of course you said you can either use the den gun to hunt for your family and feed them, or you can use the den gun to hurt somebody else. So it's really that tool and then what you think about doing. Paul, can I ask you, do we have what tools come to your mind broadly now? Let's just take it broadly. What tools come to your mind that are of course digital technological tools that you think young people can have access to for positive work? We'll probably come to the negative one later. But what positive tools or what positive things can young people do with technological tools that they have access to them?
Okay. When we talk about technological tools, for me, I think the social media is the most powerful technology tool.
Social media?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So, just like Stuart said, for every technological tool, you can actually use it you can either use positively or negatively.
Okay.
So depending on what you want. Even the social media, you can use it positively to boost your business and tell people what you do. You can also use it negatively in terms of when you go to Twitter, you see some dirty trends and all of that. So depending on what you want.
Okay.
But the social media is the most powerful technological tool for the youth.
Okay. Talking about boosting your business. So obviously we have a lot of young people who, the reality of our young people, many of them are not in school at the moment because of the strike.
That's right.
And many of them want to do different things.
Okay.
Some of them have businesses that they probably want to scale or want to start proper, because obviously school is not going to open up in the next couple of months if that happens or not. What are some of these tools that young people can use to boost their business? Let's say somebody who is in school is a photographer part-time, okay, and because of the ASU strike now he wants to go full-time into photography. What can he do with some of the tools you're going to tell us? What sort of tools can he use to boost his photography business, for instance? Tammy.
Okay, I think at the moment one of the most engaging tools is actually the tool of social media.
Okay.
If you know exactly how to position yourself on social media platforms, for example Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you know how to interact with people through posts, content, write-ups, videos, photos, and you know how to tell stories, you will be able to communicate with people who are not just in your immediate environment, but people who are, to a large extent, the world at large. So social media is, for me, one of the most powerful tools for anybody in business to use to foster their business. So and then the second thing is,
but hang on. So if somebody says like I can't use Facebook, I can't use Instagram. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm lost. How do we help them? Like, of course, this is a good tool, social media. You mentioned Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. But if a young person says, I can't even access it. Okay, let's start with, I don't have a smartphone. So obviously you need a smartphone to be able to go online in the first place. But let's assume you have a smartphone, but you don't know what to do with it. You can only ping, as the case may be. What can be done? Because now the person has an idea, the person has a business, the person wants to scale, but you don't know how to use these tools. So how easy can these tools be learned, pretty much?
So first, I would like to actually try to imagine why both of them said that social media is the most powerful. Right. And I'm seeing it from the angle of accessibility. Okay. So social media will be that particular technology that a couple of young people can easily access. So we have millions of Nigerians on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok now, and Twitter. And I think it's not so much of a big deal. And the first point of call will be learning. Okay. And that's where we should start from as young people. If you really want to be able to, maybe like they said, put your business online, I will not just ask you to go on Facebook and create a page. Okay, just this morning I was reading up on something and they showed that as at today you have over 800 and something thousand apps that's been abandoned on Play Store. Okay. Right. So the same thing will happen if we try to do a statistics as to the number of business pages that's been abandoned on Facebook.
And I left empty.
Yes, I'm
guilty
empty, correct.
Of some actually.
So I think the first step will not even be going to create those pages. It will be learn, just like what you're asking. So Facebook, YouTube is a very accessible channel. Right. You can go to YouTube and just search for how to create a Facebook page. You can search for how to market on a Facebook page, because you see, when you see a particular business put up something on their Facebook page and you're seeing something like 200 likes, 40 comments, 20 shares, you also believe that as a young person, if you just put yours today, you should start getting 50 likes and all that. These things takes time to build. So if you have that mindset of learning and understanding that, hey, it's going to take me time to build this audience, I need to build my followers over time. So your first point of call will be, let me learn. Second point of call will be, let me grow my followers, which is now your market over time there. So I think it's easy to learn. You can either attend trainings, you can go on YouTube and virtually you get good videos, and then you start from there. But I think don't be scared to make mistakes. As you keep moving, you're going to be adjusting a couple of things, how to position your profile, how to run ads on Facebook, for example. Then before I forget, when it also comes to social media, you need to be very clear as to who needs your product. Okay. Right? There are products you might be selling that majority of those that needs it might be on Facebook and not on Twitter. Okay. Right? And then
so how does someone know that?
Yes, you own the product. So let me give you an example. Twitter is a very serious platform.
Twitter, you mean?
Yes, Twitter is a very serious platform. And on Facebook, you can create a Facebook account today, and you can eventually get up to 1,000 friends. It's easy. Okay. You just send random friend requests and people will just say, but it's not like that on Twitter. You can be on Twitter for like 2 years, you just have about 100 followers, right? And most of the stuff you see them discuss on Twitter, you need to go to certain handles and drop maybe what you're selling so that others could see. Okay. So it will not just be you creating your own Twitter account and expect it to go viral immediately there, right? So if, for example, I'm selling a product for women, let's say clothing, bags and all that, Instagram might be should be what I'm looking at. And if I'm on Facebook, I can create tests, right, with images and post. But when I'm on Instagram, I will focus on being able to design those things in form of pictures so that I can just share them for them to actually see. So I think you need to find and be sure that, okay, this is where my target market is. So you spend much time there so you can actually get them.
Okay. Paul, do you have